actor from Australia. He's playing Wolverine in X-Men 2, X-Men United. Opens this Friday, May 2nd. Please welcome Hugh Jackman, ladies and gentlemen.
You sound like a cockney.
That's right. The cockney in it, yeah. I apologize for my Australian. It was terrible.
I do sound like cockney.
Cockney.
Hang on, I want to sit down again because I like just doing that.
Yeah,
Thanks,
yeah, what is it? You seem to have this Miss Clairol thing happening. What's going on there?
Well, I'm doing this movie.
Yeah.
No, I'm doing a movie, and this is the hair for it. But really, it has nothing to do with. There's no creative choice whatsoever, except my wife digs it.
Oh, your wife likes the hair like that.
You've been married 7 years. You figure, you know, I've got to spice it up a little bit.
Got to mix it up a bit.
Actually, she had a kind of crush on Lorenzo Lamas. Well, she told me it was a sort of crush back in the 80s, which means it was huge. And so I'm just sort of, you know, fulfilling that little fantasy.
And when you go to bed, you have the pointer? You do that? Well, he has that, you know, he has that Are You Hot show, and he points at various pieces of you.
I don't talk about my burrito at all.
No, I don't talk. Oh, there you are. Hey, it was good. I love when stars and celebrities bring their dad. I met your dad. He's a very nice gentleman. Dads always dress up when they come. It's fun.
I know. He's freaking out about the, my stepmom, I'm freaking out about the premiere for X-Men. What do I wear? Well, it's kind of formal. You know, and here I am with it. But that's not formal. So my dad and stepmom are like undressing and putting back on, you know, their sports gear. They have no idea, but it's thrilling to have him. He's actually here. I think he's in the audience somewhere.
Down in the audience, where are you, Pop?
He's hating me for saying that, but he's there somewhere.
No, he's there. There he is right there. Hey, Dad, there he is right there. There he is. Hey. Now, let me ask you now. How was your dad when you said you wanted to be an actor? How did that go over?
Well, Dad actually was remarkably good. My father worked for Pricewaterhouse, which is an accountancy firm for 40 years. So the idea of his son...
He's used to excitement,
The idea of his son going into that really bankable profession of acting, you know, was kind of... I was a little nervous, but actually this is a true story. I auditioned for an acting school, the first acting school, that cost $3,500. I had no idea when I auditioned. I got in, they said, congratulations, cough up with the $3.5 grand and you're in. So I had no money at the time, and 2 days later, a bequest from my father's mother came in for $3,500 exactly. So I kind of said to Dad, you know, listen, I'm thinking about becoming an actor, and I'm thinking about using, you know, your mum's money to do it. And he said, well, I couldn't think of any better way to spend the money. True story.
That's very nice. That's very good. That's cool. That's very good. That's very good. Now, are there any other actors in your family?
Funnily enough, Dad traced the theatrical vein in the family because, being an accountant, he was trying to work out what the hell went on. Because out of 5 kids, 3 of us became actors. So he traced it and found out that his great aunts, 2 of them, were on the stage back in London. And their maiden name was Finesse, and they lived in the north of England, travelled down to London. Stay with me. Anyway, it turns out my wife's maiden name is Finesse as well. And it's a particularly weird spelling of the name Finesse. And her descendants, only 2 generations back, were also from the north of England. Which, when he told me, kind of like, oh, this is great, we found, I was like, all of a sudden thinking, my wife is my sister.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe cousin, at best.
Wow.
Yeah, but anyway, we'd consummated the marriage, so we thought, what the hell is this?
What the hell? And that kind of thing goes on in Australia all the time anyway. You know, what the hell? You know the Australians. Now, did you have the English premiere for this already?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay. Now, how did that... Did you meet the Queen?
Great. No, we snubbed the Queen.
Really? This doesn't seem like the Queen kind of movie.
Imagine Philip and Liz sitting there, you know... I can't imagine it. No, so we didn't invite them, and they didn't want to come either. But I have met the Queen.
Have you met the Queen?
Yeah, I met her at a concert I did. It's one of those Royal Command performances. Actually, the truth be told, she doesn't really like theatre very much. So the command is more her people saying, you've got to go. So she turns up, and they trot out all these people doing theatre, and I was doing a stage show, Oklahoma, so I sang, and she came backstage, and you're briefed when you meet the Queen on what you can say and what you can't say. You know, you have to call her Mom. You cannot initiate any conversation. You just listen to her question, just answer politely, and then bow at the end. So when she eventually came around to me, I was introduced as an Australian. She went, oh, so you're Australian.
It's a very good impression.
Yeah, it's about as good as your Australian.
Oh, Australian. It sounds like she's on the Jeffersons.
I'll skip the impression. Anyway.
Go ahead. So what?
So I said, yes, I am. In fact, Mum, I said, today in Australia, we celebrate your birthday, which is true. That very day is a public holiday in Australia where we celebrate the Queen's birthday. So I said, it's your birthday today in Australia? And she looked at me and went, oh, really? And she looked at all her aides behind her and said, is that true? And they all said, yes, I did. And she went, oh. And I said, well, happy birthday on behalf of Australia. And she went, oh, thank you. And that was it. And walked on. But I love that the whole of Australia has a public holiday. She has absolutely no idea. Happy birthday, Mum.
She's got a lot of waving to do. Yeah. You know, that's important stuff.
I haven't worked in England since, but...
Look, we'll take a break. More with Hugh right after this. Be right back. Welcome back. Talking with Hugh Jackman from X-Men 2. Now, tell me about drama school. What was the special yoga class? You know
special yoga? Oh, dear. See, you guys do your research, don't you?
Well,
yeah.
I read this, and I said, you know, I'm not going to go on tabloids. I'll go to the source and ask you.
Well, you don't study yoga, but not that kind of yoga. There was a guy in my drama class who actually studied Raja Yoga, which I don't really know a lot about, but he seemed to be always full of energy, and he had this, and we were always kind of looking at him. He had this great focus, and we were like, what's his secret? And finally we asked him, and he said, well, don't masturbate. In Raja Yoga, we believe in not masturbating. And that, and that builds up the source of energy that you'll be able to use in your acting. So, of course, being diligent acting students, we had a little competition between all of us, and there were like nine boys, and we were boys at the time, trust me, and I lost, shall we say.
You lost?
Yeah. I was not master of my domain.
Right. I bet Dad was glad he was paying for school then. Huh? Yeah. Now,
I can't believe you brought that up. My father's here.
Your father's here. I just want him to know what he's paying for.
Yeah.
Now, you had a nude scene in this.
I did have a nude scene, okay. Yes. I had to, well, I'm heavily lit from behind, I'm told. I haven't fully seen that scene yet. But, so apparently you can't see anything. But I said to the guys, you've got about $50 million to spend on CGI. Just throw a few grand my way, you know? Give me an extra couple of inches, you know, something. Right, yeah. But anyway, yes, I have a nude scene, and I had to run through the tunnel. It was a flashback for Wolverine. I run through, and it's quite an angst-ridden moment with this primal scream, and I yell, and on the very first take, they played a bit of a trick on me, because as I came down nude into the camera doing that, I run around the corner, and I can't see what's at the end of the tunnel, and awaiting me are 30 girls from the set, including Jimmy Marsden's mum, who's visiting for the day, all waving $5 bills like this. Whee! So, picture me. This is where it's a problem having claws, because when you're naked, you go, whoa, gee, oh, yeah, you know.
Yeah, you can, yeah. That's
occupational hazard, shall we say.
Yeah, that's it.
Anyway.
Look at Dad beaming with pride. Now Dad's like this. I'm not really his son. He was a... Now,
oh, dear.
Now we have a clip. What is the scene we're going to see here?
This scene is the mansion where all the children study school is under attack, and it just so happens...
All the gifted kids that have powers.
That's right. They're all there, and I am actually, by quirk of fate, babysitting them. I'm the only one there above the age of 13. So Wolverine's the babysitter. And in this scene, he's confronted in this hallway, as you can see, by a whole lot of soldiers. And he's about to take them all on until finally this voice, which is kind of a voice from his past, comes around the corner.
Let's take a look.
Wolverine? Well, I must admit, this is certainly the last place I'd expect to find you. How long has it been? 15 years? You haven't changed one bit. Me, on the other hand... Nature.
Who are you?
Don't you remember?
No!
Logan, come on, let's go.
Logan. Go, I'll be fine.
But we won't.
Cool. X-Men 2 opens this Friday.
Yep.
Hugh, always a pleasure. Say hi to Oscar for me.
I will.
All right. Be right back with Abby Julo right after this, our 4-year-old Wiz kid.